singers across Canada, performing their songs and sharing stories of inspiration. Nominated for Best New Artist and Outstanding Rock Recording of the Year. Please welcome Robb Nash.
As you can see, this is the biggest crowd we've ever played for. We're really happy to be here. I'm going to start off with the saddest song I've ever written. Are there any hockey fans here? This is Canada, right? Yes? All right. I played a lot of hockey, so I wrote my saddest song when I dreamt what the world would be like without the NHL. But I sing it like I'm Adam Sandler, see if you like it. When you feel like the only kid in town who hadn't seen hockey in a while, not having the NHL, boy, it felt so weird. We almost missed Taves and Crosby trying to grow their playoff beard. The Maple Leafs, their playoff hopes in sight, and Commodore should sell his hair back to Napoleon Dynamite. We hadn't seen the guys in green do a dance in a while, so we had to settle for those freaks doing it Gangnam Style. This is really dumb, I'm aware of that. Gary Bettman, what a treat. He should go back to playing the Count on Sesame Street. Right? They're identical. Why does no one say that? Sorry, we've been on the road a long time. When I get bored, I like trying to do voices. That was my Adam Sandler. What's some more recent you guys might know? See if you guys recognize this. See what's going on there? Just to play the guitar, just to play the G chord, maybe the E minor. Stewie Griffin. You're not supposed to watch that show. For those who've never seen us before, a lot of people see that video and they're like, hey, wait. So you guys had a record deal? It's like, yeah. You guys had songs on the radio everywhere? It's like, yeah. And you guys were playing in big crowds like that? It's like, yeah. And you guys stopped doing that so you could do this? It's like, yeah. Are you guys stupid? It's like, yeah. But honestly, we did all that because I wanted to do something like this one. And if you've never heard my story before, you got a glimpse of it in that video. But I'm from a tiny town of less than 200 people, and we were super stoked one day. My friend got his driver's license. What? His parents gave him their car. The first week he had his driver's, he had 3 car accidents, so he's a great driver, right? And then one day there was freezing rain. All the highways were shut down. Nobody was supposed to drive, but we didn't care. We're teenagers. So we went for a joyride anyway, and everybody else driving that day was going like 30 because it was super slippery. Not us, going like 120. We're pulling out passing cars. We're like half a kilometer from our school out on the highway, and we pulled out to pass one last car, and there was a semi-truck coming, and he was going full speed, we're going full speed, and my friend didn't know what to do, so he hit the brakes, we started sliding, we hit the semi like head on, and it crushed in front of our car. Our car started spinning, the semi-trailer swung it over top of us, we went into the semi-trailer, and that like ripped the roof off our car, and I was sitting in the back seat behind the driver, and the trunk got ripped off, so I fell back like where the trunk used to be, like, and my friends all ran from the car, because they thought it was going to explode, like it does in movies. That doesn't usually happen. So they looked back at the car and they saw that I was still laying there and the snow was just filling with blood and it was pouring out of the side of my head. I lost this side of my skull, it got crushed by the semi. Actually, it's weird, guys. We spoke at a school in that area a little while ago. One of the students went home and he told his parents, he's like, hey, Mom, Dad, guess what? Robb Nash came to our school today, got hit by a semi-truck and lost his skull. Right? And the dad freaked out because the dad was the first responder. Like, he was the first person to pull up to help after the accident. So I just did lunch with this guy, and it was super weird talking to him because he's freaking out because he still thought I was dead. He goes, Rob, I remember holding your head like this. He said, your body was laying that way. We were waiting for the ambulance. You had no pulse. Your heart wasn't beating. You weren't breathing. He said, and I could look right in and see your brain because there's no head on one side. So they called my family. My parents got the call that no one ever wants to get, and that was, we're sorry, your son was killed in a car accident today, and we're bringing his body to the hospital, which is like 2 hours away. So my family was all coming to see my dead body. As you can tell, I came back to life. That was the first miracle. Then they got me to the hospital, and they told my parents, they're like, well, his heart's beating again, so we'll put his head back together with metal, like with titanium, but he's never going to wake up from his coma. Actually, guess what else I found out a little while ago? The doctors never thought I'd wake up from my coma, so they didn't even do the surgery. They actually let some students do it. Here, this guy's not waking up, you can practice on him. Yeah, that happened! So if you felt my head, it should be nice and smooth. They did a terrible job. I found it during the surgery. They dropped part of my skull on the ground and then they shattered some more. So if ever people would feel my head, they'll all be like, oh, because all these pieces of, you know, sometimes with friends we whack each other on the head, right? I had a buddy walk past once, forgot about my head. He's like, hey, Rob. He smacks me on the head. I'm like gushing blood. I'm like, hey, nice to see you too. We need a new handshake. So they put my head back together with titanium. Hey, do you guys want to hear like the gross details and stuff? Alright, sure. Okay, some said, no, if you don't like gross details, don't listen to this part. A lot of people say to me, is that your real hair? I said, yes, this is my real hair. This is the gross part. This is what we do. You You guys do this type of work, you know, they pull the skin back and they put my head back together with metal, they staple the skin back on, so my hair did grow back. But if I ever go bald, I'm like a seriously ugly dude. And if you don't like gross stuff, it's just gonna be a picture, just an X-ray and stuff like that. But Ty, can you put that? Don't look at the screens if you get grossed out easy. But this is what the side of the head looks like. Ty, do you have that? Coming. So that's how they, with those pieces, they try to put it together. To put it back together, they said I'd never wake up from my coma, as you can tell I did. And then they said because of my brain damage, I wouldn't have any memory. Like, why would my parents? I did. Just picture this, I was in my coma, I'd come conscious for a few minutes and then I'd fall unconscious. And every time I woke up, they'd ask me questions to see if I remembered anything. They'd be like, what's your name? And I'd be like, Pedro. It's like, what? Where are you from? San Francisco. It's like, what? Do you know why I'm in the hospital? Do you remember what just happened? Yes, I hurt myself surfing. It's like, what? My brothers actually told me one time I woke up, I was all upset because I thought I was in the hospital because I lost a hockey fight. I guess whenever I was dreaming, that's what I thought I was. But then one day I woke up and my memory came back, another miracle. And a lot of people don't know this, I'm sure some of you do, but a lot of people know this. But when you get hit on the head that hard, it erases your temporary memory. So it doesn't necessarily erase your childhood, but erase the last few days, right? So, like, if that happened to you guys going home today, you probably wouldn't remember coming here today, you wouldn't remember our concert, you know? So for me, I don't remember getting hit by a semi-truck. I don't remember getting into the car. I don't remember that day or the day before. My last memory before the accident was 2 days before. I was sitting in school. Imagine this, picture this as you sit there. Imagine this happening to you right now. I was just staring up at my teacher, and then I blink and I wake up and I'm laying in a bed. My buddy's standing there, I'm like, what the heck just happened? He goes, Rob? I said, yeah. He goes, dude, you got hit by a semi-truck. We told you like 1,000,000 times. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? When? He said, winter. I'm like, it is winter. And he shakes his head, he opens the curtain, and he shows me in sun outside. It's like 2-3 months later, and I didn't remember anything. I'd only been in my coma for like a week, but I'm missing about 2-3 months of my memory, you know? He goes, feel your head. Now, last thing I remember, I did my hair, looking good, went to school. Now I go like this, feel my hair, and there's no hair there. There's just metal holding my hand together and a tube coming out. That freaked me right out! That'd be like I said, feel your hair, guys. Guys go like this, feel your hair, and there's no hair, there's just metal. A couple of you checked. This guy right here is like Homer Simpson. He's like, oh no, I hope he's not contagious. So I felt this metal head. I tried to get up and run to the bathroom to see what I looked like with a metal head, and I couldn't get up. I couldn't walk on my own. And then they told me about all the things that were wrong with me. Man, I was so upset. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell from there, but I'm a tall guy. I'm 6'5". I played every sport. I thought my life was going to be playing sports. And now here I was, 17 years old, and my mom has to bathe me again. And I got real angry about things. People always keep on me trying to comfort me, and they'd always say one of three things. Some people came up and said, well, Rob, I guess this is your fate. And I was like, well, then fate sucks. And I know it's not fate, because fate says you have no choice, right? It has to happen. And I know I chose to get into that car, guys. You know what I found out? My best friend who was sitting in the back seat with me, he didn't want to get into the car, didn't trust the driver. Apparently, I convinced him to get into the car. So I know it's not fate. We made some decisions. Some people came up to me and said, well, you better figure out what you're doing wrong, because God is clearly mad, so he spanked you with a semi-truck. That also sucks. But the most common one people would say to me, and they still say to this day, and I can't stand this one. Since my accident, I've met with tons of people in prison, funerals, hospitals, and even though people mean well when they say this, I find it does more damage than good. People would always come up to me and say, Rob, yeah, everything happens for a reason. And I was like, whoa. So I had to lay there trying to figure out the reason it happened to me. And I assumed it was because I was bad. Is it because I said that to my dad? It's because I did that at school that day. And I'm thinking, yes, blows. Is this how life is? You screw up and you get spanked by a semi-truck? Like, there's a big reason for it? I don't want to be alive, not like that, because this happened in grade 12. So all my grade 12 classes weren't finished. I'm not supposed to try to finish them the next year because of my brain damage. So now I can't go to college, can't go to university. I couldn't get a job because of all my physical injuries. I can't play sports anymore. I can't even go to a gym because a ball might hit me in the head. And all of a sudden I started hearing voices in my head every night. I'm terrified. I started hearing this. You're useless now. There's no reason for it. You're useless. There's no reason for it. I didn't want to be alive, not like that. But then one day somebody came up to me and said the most amazing thing that changed my life. This guy walks up, he goes, hey Rob, you think everything happens for a reason, right? That's what everyone tells me. He goes, I think I know the reason you got hit by that semi-truck. I'm like, what is it? He goes, I think you got hit by that semi-truck because you were going too fast on an icy road. And I was like, wow. That sounds so simple, but that's the best reason anyone told me. I realized, guess what, guys, we're not puppets. We get to make our own decisions, but every once in a while we're going to have a bad day. It's just going to happen. You have to be mad at anyone or anything. That was a bad day for me. I'm sure there's people in this room that have had bad days, yeah? And guess what? If you haven't, you're going to have to figure out what you're going to do with it. And now, this is what I believe. You have to agree with me. I don't care if you do or not, but listen to this. Things don't happen for a reason. They don't. Things just happen. But listen closely. Things don't happen for a reason, but things do happen with potential. Like my accident had the potential to leave me angry and bitter the rest of my life. We all know people like that, right? Something happened when they were 15, now they're 81 and they're still angry about it, right? So there's a potential I can anger that smile, or there's a potential I can try to turn my story around, try to help others with it, but it's not automatic. You gotta make that decision. And I still feel funky about it, guys. I'm sure some of you have lost friends and family, probably even recently. Just a few months ago, I sang at my cousin's funeral. Man, every time I've lost a friend or a family member since my accident, I feel so guilty. Well, God, why did I come back from the dead? Why not them? Why did my heart start beating again? Why not theirs? We just did another show in Toronto a little while ago. His mom came up and gave me a shirt with a picture of her son on it. She said, he died in a car accident. He was 17, just like you. Same birthday as me. But he didn't come back from the dead. I don't know what to say to that. I don't know why I got a second chance, someone else did. I had done nothing to deserve a second chance. But I'll never forget, I was like, you know what? The best thing I could do for my friends and family that have passed away, I'm going to make every day count. I'm like, I'm done being angry. Not a lot of people get a second chance, right? And I remember I screamed at the sky and I was like, I want to do something today. Like, I want to do something that matters. Like, I want my life to count. And I was terrified. I thought I'd hear this voice inside me say, like, go to Africa, build a well, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I thought I was going to do something huge, right? I didn't hear that. But guess what I heard? You know, there's a big difference between the voices in your head and the voice in your heart. Yeah, you ever feel promptings? This is what I felt, clear as day. Not to move to Africa, this is what I felt. Phone a semi-driver that hit you and tell them you're alive. I go, what? So there's a phone the police. I'm like, yo, can I get the phone over to the semi-driver that killed me a little while ago? And this cop's like, no. I'm like, all right, I tried to hop the phone, but this voice wouldn't leave me alone. So I kept trying. Finally, one cop gave me his number. This big trucker from the U.S. answered the phone. He's like, hello. I was like, hey, is this so-and-so? He's like, yup. I was like, you remember that car accident in Canada a little while ago? And this big dude gets real quiet. He's like, yeah. He's like, I just felt in my heart that I should call you, tell you, like, I'm okay, man. Like, I'm alive. I survived. And this big dude starts crying. He's like, I'm just so sorry about your friend. I'm like, what friend? He goes, the one that died, lost his skull. No, dude, that's why I'm calling. That's me. And this guy lost it. Guess what I found out? Since the day of our accident, he had not driven a vehicle. He's in a psychiatrist on depression medication. The accident wasn't his fault. It was our fault. But he saw Sammy run me over and kill me. This was haunting him. We talked for like 2 hours. I could feel it. This guy was set free. I hung up the phone. I was like, what? Like, that wasn't so bad. Like, I didn't have to move to Africa. I just had to phone somebody. But that felt good. Like, I had never done jack for anyone in my life except for me. And I was like, man, I want some more. And guess what? When you're faithful with little, more is given. Finally got to a place where it's like, man, how can I tell my story to other young people so they don't have to get hit by a semi-truck like I did before they make every day count? We all wear this black bracelet that says make today count, but it's pretty simple. And you know, we talk to students every day, we always say, you know, people walk up to you and say, you know, what are you going to do when you grow up? What are you going to do when you grow up? That's super annoying. If you'd have asked me when I was in high school, hey, Rob, what do you want to be when you grow up? I would have never said a musician. Guess what my worst mark was in school? Music. I couldn't make it into the choir because my voice wasn't good enough. We're doing a show in my old high school coming up. I hope the old choir teacher's still there. But you know, I realized, guys, something. I say this to students, prisoners, every day, every show that we do. I always say, you guys can walk up to any adult that you know and ask them, what do you do? Everyone knows what they do. But when you ask them, why do you do it? Very few people have a good answer. And that's a sad thing. But I realized something. The people have had an impact on this world. It's not about what they did. It's about why they did it. I can give you tons of examples. You know one that I say almost every day in the school shows that we do? I always say this to the students. I say, have any of you heard of a guy named Steve Fonyo? Nobody's ever raised their hand. Have any of you heard of a guy named Steve Fonyo? A couple people. Have any of you guys heard of a guy named Terry Fox? Okay, one of those two guys lost his leg in a fight with cancer. He ran across the country, Canada, went on one leg, raising funds and awareness for cancer research. Real loud, who was it? No. Steve Fonyo. Terry Fox didn't make it. Steve Fonyo made it from coast to coast on one leg. And we meet no students who know who he is. Do you want to know why? Listen, this is what I think. Listen, what they did was the same thing, right? Why they did it was different. Unfortunately, Steve Fonyo, you know the story, he's got a bad reputation, criminal record, charities doing some nasty things. Everyone thinks that's why he was trying to make some money. Nobody talks about him. Terry Fox didn't even make it, but he was a hero in Canada. Every school I've been to, we see a picture of him on the wall somewhere. And that's when I realized, don't just figure out what you want to do, what you want to do, why. Start with why. My why is this. Not just the young people, but I want to tell my story to you guys so you don't have to die before you start to live like I did. Guys, this is what I do. I hit metal strings with a plastic stick. No one cares. They care about why you do it. So we started the band, we did our first CD, second CD, third CD. Guess how many people come to our shows? You guys are the loudest crowd we've ever had. There's like, no, and there'd be like 4 or 5 people in the audience. But because we knew why we do it, we didn't care if there's 4 people in the audience and 40,000. We were going to inspire those 4 people. Now before that, we got the big record deal. Like you saw in the video, our songs on the radio era. We're doing with our favorite bands, huge crowds. And then one day I was off at a Johnny Cash tour. tell my story to prisons, youth detention centers, native reserve schools, and I was like, yeah. And my record label said, no. So we don't charge $1 for the shows that we do. We never have. The schools don't have a budget for it. My record label wanted to make money, so they said, you can't do this to her. So yeah, like you saw in that video, to do this to her, I had to rip up my record deal, my publishing deal, my management deal. And everyone thought I was crazy, because by the way, guys, when you rip up a record deal, you don't have millions of dollars. In fact, you don't even have $1. You just owe people lots of money because you didn't finish your contract, right? And we don't charge for our shows, so everybody's like, I gotta pay for your tour, I gotta pay for your life. I'm like, I don't know, but I feel like I'm supposed to do it. And you guys are lucky when this tour started, just me and my guitar, went into classrooms, prison cells. Our tour's getting a little bigger, so I brought my band over to play some music for you. So check out this video. This is introducing my drummer and some of his journey to get to today. Check this out.
I always knew that I wanted to play music, and I actually started off with wanting to use that music to help other people. Somehow I forgot about all that, and over time my desire to play music turned into an unhealthy obsession with being a rock star. Looking back on my journals now, it's so clear that I had fallen into a huge depression, because my entire identity was wrapped up in what I wanted to do instead of why. I started self-medicating to fill that emptiness inside of me, but that only made things worse. I knew I couldn't keep living that way, but it wasn't until a true friend called me out that I realized things needed to change in my life. I completely took music out of my life. I stopped playing altogether, but that desire just wouldn't go away. I just didn't have my own big dream or vision on where I should start, but I realized that was okay. For the first time, I stopped trying to force things, and I just made myself available. I found a team that I truly believed in, and that's where I am today. I'm Johnny Holiday, and I play drums for the Robb Nash Project.
And this right here, this is Brian. He just started touring with us a little while ago. New guitar player for us, amazingly talented dude. Give him a round of applause. But you know, guys, through 4 CDs, I never wrote a song about my accident. Like, I joked around about it a little bit, but it's tough to talk about, and it may be hard for me to sing about. But on our 5th album, we wrote this song called One Last Breath. And in this song, you name me, said all that stuff that I just said to you. I want to start listening to the angels of my life instead of just the demons all the time. Because I'll tell you what, when you wake up and your family tells you that you were dead, man, I'll never forget thinking, if that was my last breath, what's the last thing I said to my mom? What's the last thing I said to my dad? What's the last thing I said to my buddies at school? And it sucked. Because I had never said or done anything for anyone in my life except for me. You know, I always thought when I died, I'd feel my heart slowing down. I'm taking my last breath and have this moment to make things right, you know? I never got that. And then I started having memories of what I saw when I died. You know, guys, I was terrified to fall asleep for a year after my accident, because every night I had the same nightmare. And my nightmare was watching my own funeral, and nobody showed up. Nobody cared that I lived or that I died. So in the song, you hear me begging, just give me one last breath to say sorry, one last chance to make it right. So check out this song. It's called One Last Breath. Demons surround me. So angels to come, ignoring that voice deep inside, darkness took over. If this is my last day, You know, I said I like doing voices. You want to hear another voice that I can do? 4 people. Wow. Have you guys seen the Hobbit movie or Lord of the Rings? You know Galadriel's mean little creepy thing? Check this out. Master, Master's our friend. Give it to us fresh and Brooklyn. Which, by the way, anytime I tell him I'm going to call my house trying to sell me something, that's how I answer the phone. It's like, good morning. It's like, have you heard about the new deal with Rogers? No. Can I look for coffee? I used to feel so weird. I'd be walking around my house doing stupid voices. My dad would be like, what are you doing? I like doing voices. My dad would be like, why don't you do something with your older brothers? Learn to build something, do something useful. Well, guess what? That's what we tell everyone every day. Every one of us have different gifts, different passions. Even if it's something weird like doing voices, maybe you'll entertain people one day. Guess what my job got to be before I got the record deal? I got to be a radio DJ. I got to do stupid voices on the radio and prank call people. It was fantastic. You guys want to hear about one of my prank calls? Yes. 20 people, let's get it. Okay, you know those mall security guard cops walking through the malls, right? I used to prank call them on the radio all the time. They never knew it was me. So picture this, it's the radio company here, right? They pick up, they're like, hello? I was like, is this mall security? They're like, yes. I said, oh, I have an emergency. They're like, what is it? I said, my brother, he has this fear of public bathrooms. He's been trapped in the bathroom for like 3 hours. I said, I need you to check on him. He's like, oh, I'm on my way. And you're running down the halls. He gets in the bathroom in the mall. He goes, where is he? I said, he's sitting in the first stall. I just hoping somebody was sitting there. And he looks underneath and he's like, yeah, there's someone in there. I said, what color are his shoes? Black and red. I'm like, yeah, that's him. He goes, what should I do? I said, just knock on the door, tell him everything's going to be okay. And so waiting shit on me. Everything's going to be okay in there. So he's not saying, what should I do? I said, just tell him Daddy loves him. He's like, Daddy loves you. Now picture that, you're sitting on the canopy of the mall, there's a uniformed dude going, Daddy loves you. He goes, he's not saying, what should I do? Should I open the door? I said, no, don't open the door. I said, I have a really strange request. He goes, I'll do anything. I was like, well, there's a song that I sing to him to comfort him. I said, just repeat after me. He's like, my little buttercup. And I'm waiting. He starts singing to the dude. He's like, my little buttercup. All of a sudden the guy inside swings the rope and he's like, what the heck is going on? He's like, hello, my kids Rob Nash are on the radio again. He's like, what? Well, that's funny because a little while ago we were on tour where at the airport and all the security's being kind of rough with me, right? They bring me to the back room and I can hear them calling my name. I'm like, dude, is there a problem here? Like, I'm gonna miss my flight. And he's like, yeah, there's a problem here. I'm like, what's that? He's like, you're Rob Nash, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, is there a problem with that? He's like, you used to be a radio DJ? Yeah. I used to be a mall security guard cop. He got his revenge on me. It was great. But you know, that's the thing. Everyone's got different gifts, right? And even our team, it's not just the 3 of us. There's so many people on this team, all with different gifts that make this tour happen. There's people trying to arrange our tour schedule for us and just arranging all that stuff for us. We got a company that donated the sound system, a company that makes the Nash guitars in Seattle. We got right back there, that's John. He just started working with us. Wave your hand, John. He's the one that tried to fundraise just so we can keep this tour going and impact more kids. Beside him, that's Dale in the corner. He's our security, drives our tour bus. If there's any like UFC fans here, we should talk to them after the show. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you can break your arm just by sneezing. It's really weird. Back there, that's Tyler. He's our tour manager. Does anyone play music? I know I wasn't a musician earlier, but anyone else play music here? Like guitar, drums, piano? Okay. There's a few. You guys will love this. Normally when you play music, you don't have a bunch of cables back. You have a soundboard at the back to control the sound, right? One of Tyler's many gifts is he's great with computers. See that iPad that he's holding? That iPad is our soundboard. From that iPad, he's controlling the volumes, the mics, the guitars, the drums, everything happening on stage. Ah! He controls it all. He controls it all. He controls it all. And for anyone who plays guitar, and you normally when you play guitar, you have a bunch of pedals in front of you to control the effects and stuff. He controls the effects of both of our guitars through the computers, through the iPads and stuff like that. So watch how we work together. I'll show you something cool. Okay, I'm going to start playing something. Check this out, right? Now watch, I can stop. He keeps it going. Start the next part. The song he's doing from there, it's not us. Did you guys notice as the 3 of us play the music? See how that video was on sync behind us from a concert we did a little while ago? He's doing that from the iPad as well. We do set up screens at every show that we do so everyone can see the words we're singing, because that's important to us. So that's Dale, John, that's Tyler. Give them a round of applause.